It's okay. So welcome everyone to our weekly. I'll look at the screen while I'm talking. To our weekly energy read for the week. This will be. I was going to say September. Isn't that fun? January. It will be January the. What's Sunday the 14th? Did I say? I think.
We're the 8th.
Today's the 8th. Oh,
8th.
actually, it's
Yeah.
the 10th on Sunday, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So the weekly read from the 10th to the 16th. And this is being recorded right now. So this is for whether you're looking at all signs or whatever the magical part that you want to connect with at this point in time. It could be, you could look at your astrological sign. You could just be with the energy of whatever it is for this week. And the first read that we do is the collective read. And then we move into the pick a pile. And then I'll show you the piles. And then you can pick which one you feel drawn to. We'll read each pile. And then at the end, we'll stop the recording. And if you would like a free card, to pick a card to have some clarity on the pile that you picked, then we can do that. We have clarification decks. All the decks that we have today are, let's see, we have the Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. That one. The Mystical Oracle Shaman is by Alberto Villaldo, Colette Baron Reed, and Marcelo Lobos. That one as well. I have two new decks, folks, to have some fun with today, which is the Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed. I just love her stuff. Really great. The Spirit Song Tarot by Pauline Cassidy. The new one. So the Oracle of the Seven Energies is a new one. Santa gave them to me. And the Light Seers Tarot, beautiful deck by Chris Ann. Okay. So all the cards have been smudged and blessed to get started with our reading today. All right. I just want to make sure that you can see and hear me okay. All right. So we're going to use the Mystical Shaman Oracle for this one, for our collective and for the community, for the reading specifically. And if we need clarification on anything, we'll pick some additional cards. Whoa, they want to give me a book. So spirit guides, angels, please give us what the energy for our collective is for this coming week, January 10th to the 16th. Okay. Oh, I like this. So we have the eagle. I think we've had that one before. Interesting. So what I'm getting from this, when I see the eagle, he's landing and it looks like somebody's head. It's pretty funny. I was right away thinking of someone's head and landing on their head and their hair, but it obviously isn't that. So it's a 16 card. And so it could either be all the great teachers, all the enlightened ones, or it could be for the sacred dream. Interestingly enough, the bald eagle is my dream animal, and I use that in the dream time. But there is the energies that are in this card is quite interesting. What's pointing out to me, that's jumping out, is, of course, I'm thinking that all our crown chakras in our community need to be open and hearing spirit on a regular basis every single moment of the day. Also drawing my attention to the moon in this card. And then there's also these little light flecks that are coming off from the wings of this eagle. And it's to me, it feels like fairy dust. And there's also sparkles coming from where he's trying to land. And so, yeah, there's some really interesting energy on this card. There's new life, there's new beginnings, there's new happenings. And we're being asked to dream these brand new beginnings. All of us, whether we're in a collective, in a role of a community, a group working on a project, or whether it's family, it doesn't really matter. But as a general collective, we're supposed to be creating and dreaming at this time because it is winter. So going into the dream, going within, but most importantly is listening to the messages that are coming through and trusting those messages. And creating abundance. That's what I'm feeling. So that's the energy of the card. And so Spirit, I'd like to hear and like to know, Spirit guides, angels, thank you for being with us. We're so grateful. We'd like to know if you can tell us anything else about energy for next week and what we need to take care for. It's the Gatherer, the 21 card. So 2 and 1 is 3. And what I feel from this is we have lots of abundance already. See how she's got the pumpkin and she's holding feathers, and it's like harvest time. And it's like we're harvesting all the lifetimes of wisdom, beauty, and knowledge that we have at this time, tapping into that and bringing out all the goodness that we've experienced, what we know already, and creating these new downloads and these new dreams that are coming through. That's what I feel from that. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, it's really going within and figuring that out, because it's not about training yourself to be a specific thing anymore. You have a lot of tools already. It's tapping into what you already know. Might have to have it waken up by maybe reading a book or a passage, or finding a particular website that is sharing knowledge, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know why, but I remember that is true. So that goes with that card very nicely. Let's see if there's anything, Spirit guides, angels, if there's anything else you'd like to share with us to clarify the energetic for next week. Oh, they want to give me 2 cards. Very nice. Many paths. We've had this. So 3 and 4 is a 7. So another dream. So there's many choices, many paths. But that's the kind of energy that's coming up. So what does that mean for us next week, in the sense of how the planets are aligning, and what do we have to pay attention to? The focus is going to be on what you're receiving from Spirit. And now you're going to have to discern which path, like what is the most important piece. And I'm really getting a lot about listening to how you communicate and sense and feel from others. It's not so much about what your mission is, it's about what you're feeling from them. And sometimes that can be really confusing at first, but we're being asked to pay attention to that. And then the other card is wind, and 6 and 3 is 9. And so there's some completions happening, endings happening, maybe relationships ending, maybe all of a sudden, something comes into your scape and you're moving all of a sudden somewhere, and that wasn't in the plan. So it feels like there's some disruptive energies. And of course, we've got Mercury happening in Jupiter. And we've got, I won't talk about the new moon yet, but because that's the end of the month. But yeah, we've got these interesting energies that are trying to wrap things up still for us. It's going to be important to pay attention to this over the next, this coming week, especially, but then going into February. February, big shift. And I've been feeling it, and my body's been preparing me for it. Just a big shift. So that's really quite interesting. I'm not going to read about all of these particular cards. I'm going to read about the eagle, and I think the wind, the two cards on the outside, the 9 and the 7. Let's see. I do want to get a clarifier for this, for the collective, using this deck, using the Oracle of the 7 energies. I just would like to clarify, is there anything that the collective in particular needs to pay attention to for next week? Well, we got 2. The royal you. So this 7 again. Gee. So dream, and self-care. That's what I'm getting. Treat yourself with compassion. Be nice to yourself. We were talking about thoughts earlier, and how important it's going to be very kind and compassionate to ourselves. And sacred reverence. And it's showing a heart with a key. And so part of the test for next week is, can you keep your heart open with all this chaotic stuff that's coming through? There's going to be a lot of more intense energetics happening. So it's either you get stuck going down the rabbit hole, down one way. And I guess what I'm sensing is you have to be able to discern and feel, am I going down a rabbit hole? Like, am I chasing a polarity, or am I listening to my higher self? Am I doing what's best for for me and in my collective and in my family? Or am I getting dragged down a negative pathway? Or is it just, do I have to balance the scales for myself? But can I keep my heart open? That's going to be really a key thing. Key, there's a key in there. So, and I see it's going to be important because the planet, so 4 and 7 is 11. There's a 7 in there, which is neat. And 4 is for balance. And again, it's that dreaming. So we're trying to bring in new ways of collaborating, creating, and learning how to keep our hearts open when there's conflict and negativity. Probably are not going to see any glimpses of new hope until after the 17th. We might get a glimpse of some change, but even then it probably won't show up till end of February, beginning of March. Let's look and see what some of these cards have to say. We're going to look at the eagle, which is 16. Okay, so the essence of the eagle comes from the east. Oh, I'm glad I changed where I was sitting. I'm sitting in the east, the place of the rising sun, of new beginnings. She soars high in the sky, sees the smallest detail with clarity without losing track of the bigger picture, and nests in the high mountains. For eagle, there are no obstacles, only opportunities. She calls you to ascend to acquire perspective so you can fly wing to wing with great spirit. So that's exciting. The reason why that's exciting is because we should be listening to spirit. We should be listening to our higher self, not all the noise around us. The invitation: have you become trapped in your daily routine and feel you do not know where to go and what to do next? That's the question. Have you lost your sense of purpose? Eagle invites you to take a deep breath and spread your wings. When was the last time you opened them? Eagle reminds you that your spirit was born to soar to the heavens. As you contemplate choices, ask yourself, do I want to live in a chicken coop, sheltered from life, counting the regular feedings, or do I want to soar like an eagle? If your answer is the latter, then you must accept Eagle's invitation and embrace the courage that will help you choose freedom. And that's what we're trying to move towards in the new earth. And being that we're Saturn and Jupiter is in Aquarius, it's a big thing, all about the mind. And so if we look at wind, that's about the mind. We're going to have to connect a little bit with the mind, but not to keep it cluttered with worry and fear. It's to keep it open to hear spirit and your higher self. So the medicine, it is time to see through the eyes of eagle. Let your vision of the whole of its parts become laser-like and set your principles straight. Set your priorities straight. What did you come to do in this life? Did you come to climb up the ladder of financial or social success? Did you come to become a better person? To heal your heart? Heal your heart? Just gonna point that out. To heal your heart. I lost myself. Oh, yeah. And to realize your essential self. What is your divine mission here on earth? No more excuses. Of course, you do not have enough time, enough money, or enough sleep. Yet the time is now to fly to your chosen purpose. If you postpone it, you are betraying yourself. Look through the eyes of the eagle. Consider every obstacle an opportunity. So where you set your intention is where you'll end up. Free yourself and live your highest destiny. Fly. It's exactly what Spirit's asking us to do. To take all that we know, fly. We have so many choices right now. We have abundant choices. Let's put this, I'm just going to turn these around so you can see them better. I was trying to see if I could pick up anything else as they were turned around. And I'll look at what these two cards have to say as well. That's beautiful. Wind, we said we're going to look at 63. Wind. I have a feeling it's going to be very about the head. Blowing out the past. Okay. So the essence, the symbol of wind represents the element of air. So that's our Aquarius energy. And it rules communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. I was talking about the polarities, and so deciding where you fit in that. Am I neutral? Am I picking a side or not? When you pick sides, sometimes that takes energy. The wind blows from each of the four directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. So we'll just talk about that. South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. In the West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego desires. And so that's the part I was talking about. Oh yes, the royal you. And having compassion for self. The North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. And that's an important direction because part of that is finding balance in the mind as well. And the animal world can help us with that. And the East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose and taking care of your spirit. So if I was to look at the wheel in the sense of how, from our teachings, the South is our emotion, the West is our physical, the North is our mental, and the East is our spiritual. And all those things are very important in order to create balance. So they're just saying that we need to put some focus there for ourselves. The royal you. taking some care. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message, which the wind whispers or shouts, is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exaltation in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. So the invitation is, when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic. And now that you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. So new pathways. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for is in the highest good of all. So there, like I said, there's still all these big changes happening that within ourselves. And of course, creating beauty in our world has to come from within ourselves first. And then our outside world will start to change. So we're still, they're saying as a whole in our community, that's what's going on. That's what should be going on, in the sense, if we're doing our personal work, that's how it's getting carried out. Okay, so I just want to look, because this is a new deck. I want to see what these two oracle messages are. 47. Oh, I'll do the royal you. So that's 16 first. So the key concepts: sovereignty, responsibility, self-confidence, self-rule, ownership of your feelings and actions, quiet sense of empowerment, self-aware, being self-aware, not allowing outside influences out of alignment with your truth. So it's going to be really, really important that we stay within that balance and not get caught in the polarities that I was speaking about. You're the ruler of your mind. You're being invited now to consider what discipline you need to apply to your thoughts. Are they consistent with the values and beauty you intend for your life? It is important now to keep your focus on what is right and good for you as well as others. Challenges in your life at this time, no matter how large or small, must be met with a measured response. If life sends you a challenge, can you speak up and set your boundaries with grace and surety? Calm, intelligent leadership is called for now. Sovereigns know when to plan their battles, so stay out of unnecessary skirmishes and strategically wield your personal power. Now is the time to lead from the heart. From the heart. From your authenticity and integrity, hold your head high and know your worth. That is the mark of true sovereign. There was a paragraph I didn't read at first because we kind of talked about that already. It's about authentic self, being aware, and the last part was more important to point out. So this goes very well with this. So whatever we were working on last year is spilling into this year, but we can still co-create and still create beauty in the world at the same time. It's not like you have to finish that and then start the other. It's not what it's saying. It's just being aware of what's there as choices, and that life could change on a dime, especially now, as we know what we saw this week. We can see that. 47, sacred reverence, is awe for the truth that spirit is everywhere, inspiration coming through you as a result of reverence, joyful living, exploring possibilities with curiosity, spiritual passion manifesting from the starting point to the realm of spirit. Reverence is an act of deep witnessing, respect, and awe. You experience it when you perceive every being and everything and every plant and every rock and tree as sacred and alive. You naturally lean into a state of bliss and harmony and a profound sense of well-being. Whatever your dilemma or question, try to reframe your perspective to acknowledge the spiritual. If everything has value, including your most frustrating challenges, would you still ask your question from the same place? Can you regard the other as sacred, thereby erasing the separation between you? Embracing the perfection of how you came together is real magic, and you are tapping into this unity right now. No matter who or what is in front of you, see that person or thing as luminous, and your interaction is holy. And then you will know what to do for the highest good of all. And so, really, I've learned it a few different times this week that if you have no attachment as to whatever you're expecting, it just shows up. Like I actually I didn't bring it down with me, but I actually received a tower selenite in the mail, came by Amazon to my door, and I didn't order it, but there it is, this beautiful tower selenite it was a gift from somewhere, and I don't know. So very lovely, very nice. What a great surprise. Anyway, that's the overall energetic for next week. Is like there's going to be upheavals, there's going to be positive, there's going to be negative. It's the alignment of the planets next week, especially on the 12th. It's going to be expressing this, and whether it's a relationship, a job, a family situation, or simply you, that's what we're going to be working with. So just to recap, it's listening to spirit, listening to all the knowledge, knowing that you have choices, creating balance, keeping your heart open, and having self-care and compassion for yourself. Right? So beautiful. I guess I should put those up there. I'm going to move these up here. That is the collective read. Yay. All right, so now I'm going to get the piles out. And we will start the 3-card pile reading. Okay. We might use some of these piles for clarifiers, depending on what the piles are trying to say. So this is going to be pile 1. This is the new deck, which is the Light Seers Tarot. This has really cool pictures in it. Pile 1. Spirit Song Tarot is pile 2. With the Dolphin Crystal. And pile 3 is the Akashic Records with a crystal point on it. Akashic Tarot. So I'm going to give you a minute to tune in and to whatever your question is, focus on your question, person, place, or thing, and on each pile, and see which one resonates the most. Oh, you did 30 seconds. All right. Put one over here. Get comfy. Okay, shuffle these up. Spirit guides, angels. For all of those who are with us today and those who tune into the video later. Yeah. Show for pile 1 the energy for the week. What is the main energy for the week? And this one. That's a book. So I'm gonna take those. Now, okay, energy for the week. The Magician. So that means there's a lot of magic happening. So you could either put it down to coincidence, you could put it down to, well, it's either going to be negative or positive, but what you can do is actually take whatever energy it is and magically turn it into what you need, maybe changing the energetic of it, changing the alchemy of it. And let's see what else is in here. Yeah, I do see those of you who are on today, you already have this amazing energy magic, and the magic's coming out of the hands. And so whether this is self-healing, whether this is you're creating something very brand new for yourself, that's exciting. You can make it into whatever you need to. Okay. Oh, what are the challenges next week for pile one moving forward, Spirit? Are there any challenges? Well, maybe 2 cards. 2 of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So what this is saying is that you might be getting too much in your head, too much in your thoughts, and it's getting a little confusing. What should I do next? Should I do this? Should I? There's so many things I want to do. I'm so excited, but the thoughts, there's negative thoughts coming through, and it might be a challenge to sort them out. So, but the Page of Pentacles is with this. And what that's telling me is that you have the potential to create abundance. And there's also a message that's going to be coming to you from someone. Either they may have a business idea to share, or it could be, if it's a relationship thing, it's like you don't know what to do with the relationship because it's caused a lot of chaos. The person's going to come in with a message to speak with you about it. This could be a family member, this could be a past love, but that's going to be the challenge, is to be able to sort out what the message is that they're bringing. But look at the bright side of that. You've got the Magician. You've got the Magician helping you create this magic to see this clearly, whatever that is. Okay, so that's the challenge. And for next week, Spirit, can you clarify more about the challenge with the message that's coming? What do our lovely viewers need to know? Spirit guides, angels, what do you need to know? Ten of Pentacles and Temperance. What this is telling me is that take time to see both sides, go within and figure out what you need to do. There's something that's going to be happening that you have to make a decision, but it's abundant and it's going to be a good thing. Like whatever you choose is going to take you down the path you've desired anyway. Okay. And if it's a person in a relationship, you already kind of know the answer. If it's somebody you need to leave behind, it's going to take you to this. If it's somebody you know that you're supposed to be with, it's going to take you to this. But you're going to have to be very discerning and listening to the flags, red flags, if there is any, especially if someone is looking for something from you, and that if it is a business proposition or if it's something you're going to share together, that you both are speaking your truth and that you already know your boundaries and what you're willing to do or not willing to do. If it feels good or it doesn't feel good, that's what you have to decide. You have the magic to make it work. So don't get all caught up in semantics and all that with your mind. You just need to sit with it, balance it off. What does it feel like? If it feels really good, go for it. The outcome of it is really great. And spirit at this time, what would be the influential energy that's coming for viewers this week? What is the influential energy? Ooh, the lovers. The lovers. So either you love what you're going to be doing, or this is a really, heartfelt, true love relationship. And on the inside, you're like, I love this person so much, but, I don't know if I trust where it's going. So maybe there might be some decisions, but it also feels like if this person's coming back, they're coming back to apologize. It might have left you in the dark sometimes about where your relationship is going, but it feels like now there might be some resolve. Actually, even if there was a resolve where you in the 5D world where you still spiritually love this person, you can still love them from afar, but maybe you're just not meant to be together as a couple in this life, or it's just not the right timing, but eventually it will be. It may have to take some patience, and this is where you have to use temperance to just go inside and feel that. Okay. And what is the final outcome for next week, Spirit? Your pile 1. What is the final outcome? Oh, okay. We'll take these. There's 3. 3 of Cups. There still might be some entanglement with a triangle. Maybe somebody is not, they have another relationship or they haven't let go of something. The Hermit, you might have to go inside and still discern what needs to take place. And the Queen of Swords, that you are the powerful queen. You already know the answer to this. You already know. You're this magical person that creates movement, and you already have command of you've been already taking care of yourself and loving yourself and working on yourself. And so in the end of this, it feels like you're going to still decide, I'm going to take care of me rather than try to keep nurturing a relationship that's not going to work. And this could be a job, career as well, because maybe you're in this place of leadership and you're leading from this place of a high knowing within yourself, which is really good, but you're not taking things so personal anymore, and you're leading from a really great place and being responsible for yourself and for others. So yeah, it definitely is talking about a love relationship or a career love relationship, partnership. Okay. Well, I wonder if they want me to pick a soulmate card for this. So I will very quickly, if there's a question, but if it's in regards to a personal relationship, Spirit, what do you have as a clarifier for this as a love relationship between people? Life is a cycle of changing seasons. Let us welcome each new season and surrender the past with grace. Let us remember that nothing is ever lost, for all exist eternally within our heart. So like I said, you might, if it was like a twin flame situation and there's deep love and you can't let that go, that's fine. You just send unconditional love, and it is what it is for right now. Because life is a cycle and it changes all the time. And it's changing. So it's a relationship that's coming to an end, maybe coming to an end, but not an ending the way you expected. And or career wise, you're just taking it from a new perspective, but you're looking after you. And so congratulations on looking after you. I think that's important. All right. Oh, pile one. That was a powerful reading. I like that. I love these cards. These are awesome cards. Okay. Now we go on to pile two. Spirit Song Tarot. Okay, what is the energy for this coming week for pile two, Spirit? Justice. Truth and clarity. You're going to have a lot of clarity. Whatever you asked about, the scales are going to be balanced and there's going to be truth. And this could come from, maybe it could be about a legal thing. It could be about a relationship that you haven't been told the truth. Truth is coming out. So that's the energy for next week. That's the influence. Clarify this truth. Three of Feathers. Release and recovery. Release and recovery. So if it's been a hard go, it feels like something is finally complete. And this is the opportunity to see that next week and to just finally let it go. That's beautiful. So what for our pile two viewers, Spirit Guides, Angels, what else do they want to share? Six of Shells, sentiment and joy. So finally, that's like the Six of Cups. So it's finally moving forward. A relationship that's finally moving forward, that is settling in. This might be a relationship with self as well. The other card is Ace of Crystals, manifestation and prosperity. So from here on going forward, whatever you let go of, you're going to be able to manifest more, because you've let go of a whole bunch of stuff. And so now there's more room for things to come in. So isn't that wonderful? There's something about the panda. And this is like the Ace of Pentacles. So new projects, new beginnings, new exciting adventure. You've come from the shadow, you're balancing your yin yang, masculine and feminine. That's what's coming through here because of this, because of letting go. And this is creating a better relationship, either with self or with another person, because it's been a challenge. Yeah. Okay, so for pile two, what are the challenges for next week? Pile two, for pile two, what do they have to look for? Queen of Crystals, comfort and prosperity. Well, that doesn't seem like much of a challenge, but what I'm getting from this is like, it is comfort and prosperity. It's like the abundant jungle, I would say. It's like the Queen of Pentacles. So you are the creator, you are on top of the world. But the challenge is not to get too cocky about it and get too comfortable with your new surroundings. Don't put your guard down. That's what I'm getting. Don't put your guard down. But I like what I'm seeing, because it's just coming out roses. Nothing too hard. Just don't let your guard down, is what I'm getting. They're saying. Is there any other challenges? Sacred One Spirit. Oh, they're throwing them out now. King of Shells, harmony and integrity. So if you've been doing your inner work and you're coming out the other side of this because there's justice, then what you're getting is harmony and integrity. So Shells is about relationships. So King of Cups, basically. Wow. So you could be so if this was a relationship, you could be meeting a King of Cups. And if not, then it's just telling me that you're really, really, really happy with yourself, that you're comfortable with yourself. It feels good. You feel good with the choices that you're making. So yay, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. What else? Eight of Shells, quest and renewal. Wow. So relationship. Eight of Shells, quest and renewal. So renew with self. I feel that this is a very personal side of things. Yeah. So Spirit, what's the outcome? Whoa. Outcome for next week for pile 2. 3 of Acorns, foresight and exploration. This is like the Swords card, which is weird, right? Why is it Acorns? I don't know. But you're going to be able to see above all situations, and you're going to be able to determine that from the inside very well. And we have the Ace of Feathers, mental clarity and foundation. This is like the wand, I believe. Mental clarity and foundation. So very clear. You have direction and you know where you're going. And Page of Shells, intuition and inspiration. And it's in reverse. And so what this is telling me, you're not fully trusting your intuition at this time. And you're inspired to do things, but you're just a little confused about what to do, because this is in reverse. So the messages that were coming through the collective read is something to take in for yourself, to understand, what do I need to do to really trust that intuition? Because whoever picks this pile is like, you have a really strong intuition. You really know it well. It's just not fully trusting it yet. And so that just takes time and practice. And Spirit, is there anything else that you would like to say? Do we need a clarifier for this pile? Four of Acorns, comfort and community. So if you're not sure, go to your community for support when you have a challenge. That would be what it's trying to say there. Perfect. I think we'll leave that where it is. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, on to pile 3. Is with the Akashic Tarot and this beautiful point crystal. Okay, Spirit, what is the energy? What's the energy for pile 3 for next week? What is the energy for pile 3? Wow. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's 2 cards I want to express. The chess game, 3 of keys. And the 8 of roses. Sangha community. So what I'm getting from the chess game is like 3 of keys. There's like, you've been playing the game, and it feels like more from the place of, I've been playing, the game of what's in the world. I don't feel very fulfilled from it. See, the chess player is knocked over, and you don't feel that you fit in the game anymore. When I think of the game, I think the man, like working for the man. And you're just not into it anymore. You need to start something new. And 8 of Roses, community. And so I love this card because there's sunshine coming through the window. There's people around the table. There's a Buddha there with a light candle. And it's like you're feeling fulfilled already. You're starting to feel more fulfilled because of the community that you're in. You're feeling the support that you're in now. And, before you just felt kind of left out in the cold a little bit. Not that that's totally this card, but it just feels like, making the moves on the chess game. This feels like, yes, I found my spot and I want to improve on that. So next week's energy is like finding ways to integrate yourself more into what you're enjoying rather than what you've done in the past as a pattern. I think is an important thing to share. Yeah, so what is the challenge for pile 3 as our viewers next week? What's the challenge? Uriel and the Sphinx, 21-3. The challenge is figuring out where you came from. Who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? What am I doing? Some of it feels good. Some of it, I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of lost with this a bit. But the great thing is that there's light around this angel and you have all the answers inside of you. It's all there. You just have to be able to tap into it. You might need a little help with that, tapping in. The challenge is remembering, right? And so you might have to use some of your skills if you already know Reiki and have Reiki in your life, and that doing your Reiki self-healing and meditations could give you some clues. Okay, spirit guides, angels. What is the focus for pile 3 for next week? What will the focus be? Focus. 7 of Scrolls. Intricacies in industry. So yeah, I like this card. This is like figuring out, like you're building your empire. This is kind of neat because this is like in the process of, and making this a reality. So, it's in your mind. You just haven't brought it fully here yet, but you're starting to. So there's pieces. It's not complete. As you can see, the whole building there it's not finished, right? He's putting up the walls, but it's like one step at a time. And if it's in your mind at this, like next week, if it's in your mind, what's going to be important is to get it on paper, or on your computer, or just like writing it down. That the focus would be wherever you're getting messages from spirit about where to go, you want to be writing that down. That's kind of cool. So what is the outcome energy for pile 3 for next week, spirit? What is the outcome? And it feels like there's some good ideas with that you just, it's been a slow go, but it looks like there's a little bit of progress happening. What is the outcome for pile 3 for next week's Spirit? 70 keys, the ascent. Getting to the top of the mountain. So you're at a place now you can clearly see what you need to do. And you've got guidance and protection, support in this endeavor. You're guided and protected. Is there any other messages for pile 3 this time in regards to moving forward with their dreams? 5 keys, wishes fulfilled. So, getting what you want, the abundance, like there it is. If you keep moving ahead, building it one step at a time, there is abundance at the end. All kinds of it. And I noticed the doors are open. What else is here? It's all around you. There's abundance all around you. And, you know, you might have missed some things that have been placed there for you to grab onto to make this a reality. So there's that. I feel like there's another card for pile 3. Clarity with this here, the 7 energy stack. I would just like a clarifier, please, as to where this is going for pile 3 for next week. The Rose's Kiss, 9. So something has definitely come to an ending and a great new beginning, and all of these ideas that you've been cultivating in the mind need to come out in true form, into physical form. That's what it feels like. And that it, you know, it may have looked like one thing at one time, but now you can change it into something else, like a brand new thing, something from the past that wasn't working for you and it's old. You can now change it into a brand new thing. I love this card. It's beautiful. It's got a ladybug on it, and I'm going to read whatever that is. Let's see. The Rose's Kiss. It's lucky. Joy, experiencing pleasure, deep satisfaction, and enjoyment. Desires acknowledged by 5 sensory reality. Take a deep breath and center on the feeling of joy. Can you allow your senses to awaken and connect with your innate desire to experience all life has to offer? All life has to offer. Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. Our modern times often present a false ideal of how we are meant to experience the world, like this. Connections are lost and distorted by our over-reliance on technology. Just look around and see how few people actually maintain eye contact or engage in conversation. Instead of tapping away at a screen, pause and consider how you can make more intimate contact. Connecting with nature, enjoying the sensual pleasures of sex, and or being aware of the sensations of taste, touch, smell, sight, and sound may be important right now. How do your sheets feel? Can you reach out and feel the heat and softness of your companion animal nestled beside you? Be present to another person, see them, and let yourself be seen. So, you know, you may have thought you were building something really cool, and then, oh, COVID happened, and now we're not allowed to be around people but as much. And so it's going to be seeming like a challenge to get to this thing that you're creating over here, because it's something in physical form, but that doesn't mean you have to stop it. Just being in nature is going to help with that. So your 5 senses are aching to be engaged right now. This is an invitation to get out of your head and into your body. You may be a spiritual and intelligent being, but right now the emphasis should be on having a sensory experience. This is a sacred part of this gift of life. By being present to the sensual world, you invite an even deeper spiritual experience. Amazing, isn't it? Perhaps it really is time to stop and kiss the roses. So you might have to take a break from what you've been doing and take a good look, go inside, um, find some more fruitfulness of what you can offer yourself. Senses. I think that's important. Notice what you are eating. Notice how you feel the sun on your skin. So there's lots of different things of enjoying pleasure. It's joy and experiencing pleasure. How cool is that? Okay. So that is that. Doesn't leave us a lot of time for personal cards, but that's okay because sometimes people pick the same pile. And that's all good. So that is the reading for pile 3. And I'm going to just put myself back here and just say thank you so much for attending the Pick a Pile. And that's for this coming week. And so like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And these readings can be timeless as well. They don't necessarily have to be for next week, but if you intuitively pick a pile. But we're looking at next week's energy for sure on this. So I'm just saying thank you at this point, and I'm going to end this recording.